The bell is tolling. I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a look at Le'Veon Bell, fresh off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, we have a cold night in the Northeast. A bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's Darnold. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 25-yard line. Here's Taylor. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
Darnold found his target. It's Anderson. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, The other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They are led out by the final quarterback selected in the 2019 draft, the former Nittany Lion. It's Trace McSorley.
Ready! 60 yards.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. A look now at the Miami offense.
And, partner, sometimes it's good for a team to get the Thursday nighter right after a loss because you don't have very long to stew on what just happened. You have to turn right around, get ready, and go out and play again. Or, as one of the veterans told me, I actually like this because I can keep my anger for this short amount of time and take it out on the other team.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Not much room. Gets it to about the 30. And a look now at how the Jets line up defensively.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, McSorley. He's got Evans. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Le'Veon Bell and the Jets ready to begin their next drive. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
Time for a look at our starters here on defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
They may be ranked 3rd against the pass in the league, but they're the best that I've seen so far. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the full story.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Darnold. He's got a first down of inside the midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. Back to throw, Darnold. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. The numbers for Crowder a week ago: 4 catches, 55 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. To the air again, Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
All right, T, let's go. All right, T. Key to tight end. Key to tight end. 4 down, 4 down.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win. Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where we're going to be and what do we need to get. And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. Here's McSorley now, 3rd and long. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Here we go, set, 8, read. 54. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you.
They'll run on first down. It's Evans, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Looking to throw on 1st and 10. Here's McSorley. Open man is Ross, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
That catch is number 819 of his career. It ties him with Hall of Famer Steve Largent,
who did things largely below the radar. Not this guy. 819 catches, that speaks loudly in volumes.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Jets now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Taylor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold able to connect with Berrios. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Darnold now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They run the counter. Taylor, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Darnold down to throw. Got a man. It's Berrios complete.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
6 guard, check 6 guard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 3rd down, Akers. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This one from 35 yards away. And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll try to... Now the ball comes loose.
Plays Calls like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's McSorley to throw. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Now McSorley. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first, it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
He's going to have the hook up to Ross. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And that will come the offense as they take over. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
And the pass complete to Anunwa. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now it's Darnold, and this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty when you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
Got an open man. It's a new one. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Darnold now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Darnold. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, Darnold. Darnold, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot. And that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. McSorley sets to pass. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, once again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, as we'll run you through what's going on both today and later on this weekend. Some good games starting in the early window on Sunday, and one of the big ones features the New England Patriots as they'll match up against the Cleveland Browns. Then in the 4 Eastern window, it'll be a later than usual start in Cincinnati, where it'll be the Bengals taking on the Denver Broncos. And finally, Sunday Night Football. They've got a good one lined up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles. In our game, it was Sam Darnold who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A play fake, and it's Darnold. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, second-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. They'll keep it on the ground. Akers gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Spins away, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now a handoff here to his running back. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Akers give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Darnold on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. He just held on to the football too long there, Charles. That's point blank, right?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. You've got to have that internal clock that goes in your head that says either get rid of the football or flush and go and use your legs and try and pick up the 1st down. I think he hung in there too long, and the blitz got to him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's looking sharp here so far in the third quarter, Charles.
It appears that the halftime gave him a little bounce. Came out, springing his legs, a little pep in his step, and he's taking off and running really well in the third quarter.
Sometimes we talk about how guys don't want halftime to come. Some guys, they're happy when that break gets there.
You never know which way it's going to go. He's taking advantage of it in this one, though.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's the option going left on 2nd down. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack.
They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A beautiful fake. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Clinton Dix making the safety blitz look easy. Zooms in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. A 4-yard pickup that gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's the Jets punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's taken on the 25. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
is. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 29, McSorley. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen, because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Check, 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 check. Check 13. Check 13.
They'll keep it on the ground. Akers. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Getting this quickly to Berrios. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
We're going to sign. 44's Mike. Check, check. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
On 2nd and a yard. Darnold, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And this will count. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Now, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So, in other words, someone got lucky, because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The tackle there by Brian Poole. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward. Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. Fourth quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Evans. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Oh, no, he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. They'll try to run this one in. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. This Jet defense so far, and he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Trace McSorley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
Partner, that was simply an example of getting low, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And for the quarterback, so they get low the line. They did their job. Is the quarterback's job just to find a crease and dive?
Find a crease and just get in there. And ordinarily, you start low yourself, get low behind that offensive line. But sometimes they do such a great job, you can almost fall forward and find the crease for a touchdown.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Chris Herndon. That'll bring up second down. On 2nd and 10, Darnold. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
That's it, baby.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He's not going to get me.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Ready.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now.
On 2nd down now. It's Evans, and it's a fumble, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming out of the
So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Darnold now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. To the air again, Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
We focus our attention now on the Jets defense. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Evans. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll set a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He may try and run for this. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Anunua's got it, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. He's back to throw. This complete to the tight end Clay. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
First down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for the Dolphins, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Jets, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.